In the previous video, we discussed the plot of the novel Test of the Ovaries by Thomas Hardy. In this video, we are going to be looking at the themes, the characters, and the roles of the characters, which is characterization. So we discuss it. It is good if you can search for the video in the channel and also listen to it and watch it carefully so that you can have a comprehensive understanding of the novel. We have discussed the plot analysis and the plot summary in the other video, and also it is good to subscribe to the channel so that when we upload the videos of the literary devices used in the novel and also some of the significant incidents in the novel, you can get updated. So let's look at some of the themes in the novel Tess of the Ovaries. So fate and chance, that is one of the dominant themes in the novel Tess of the Ovaries. Fate and chance is one of the dominant themes because several characters in the novel expresses fate in one form or the other. Now it is even fate and chance that Tess was sent to the Ovaries family to go and claim Kim. The parent, that is John and Joan Ovaries, were also hoping that there will be a blessing coming from sending Tess to the Ovaries family, hoping that they may have a chance to be close to the family, and Tess will be adopted or taken as a maid by Miss Ovaries. So also Alec Ovaries also hoping to have a chance to get Tess, to have sexual affair with Tess, and it also happened in the situation that after raping Tess, they get into constant sexual affair. And also we saw that the fate that happened to Tess leaving the Ovaries family, going to her father's village in Malot and then living there, and also the fate of the death of Sorrow, the son that Tess gave birth to, is also a bad fate that happened to her. And even the marriage of Tex and Angel Claire, and the eventual separation between them is also fate. The death of Alec Ovaries in the hand of fate, or in the hand of Tex, is also a fate in the novel also. So let's look at the second one, the culture clash. Yes, the culture clash is also a dominant theme in the novel. So during Tess time, the industrialization of the cities was diminishing the quality of life of the inhabitant of rural area. And then we saw that the novelist explored this theme in many ways, the contrast between what is rural and what is urban. And according to the novelist, that is Thomas Hardy, it is apparent that Hardy believes that what is rural is good and what is urban is somehow immoral and amoral. So when Tess is unquestionably innocent, she is of the village. So, but now that Tess has been going to the urban, from the village to the urban, we saw the lot of corruption, the decay in her moral lives, and also it is significant that Angel's fall happens when he was nearly entrapped by a woman much older than himself in London. So we saw that also Angel and Tess lived over days to take the milk to the train. Had the right modern life stretch out its theme filler to its point 3. And we saw that Hardy explored the theme of culture clash, comparing the city and the rural area, the Malot the Malot, the village where Tess, the parent, lives. So, according to Thomas Hardy, the clash of culture is directly the clash of rural life and the urban life, where rural life is good and innocent morality exists in the rural area. We saw that immorality and also uncultural lifestyle is very common in the urban cities. Now let's look at the third theme in the novel. We have knowledge and ignorance. So whether from formal education or innate sensibility causes a conflict between those who see the truth of a situation and those who are ignorant. So why did the Tess and AJ feel isolated from their parent, who appear set in their ways? So their ideas of society, their ideas of lifestyle differs from that of their family. Though with Angel in particular, Hardy recognizes that true knowledge is not just a product of schooling, because he contrasts Angel, who alone in his family is not a college graduate, with his brother Cobalt Clare, a classical scholar who marries the priggish Mercy Chant. So we saw that according to Angel Clare, he doesn't want to go to college because he does not want to be a pastor. He wants to be a free man, a man with a free mind and not constrained by any religious tradition. So that are some of the reasons why he, even though he is not educated as his brother and the other members of the family, we saw that Claire is more matured in his approach to life than his brother, who is a university graduate, and his brother married Mercy, who is more childish and more bad in behavior compared to Tess, who is matured, despite that she does not have a Western education, is not a college graduate. So we saw that the marriage between Tess and Claire is more matured and more enjoyable between the two compared to Mercy and Colbert, who are very religious and very educated, but have a marriage which can be compared to the life of a cat and squirrel, always quarrel, having challenges, having misunderstanding. So it is unforgiveness of Angel Clare that leads to the challenges that happen in the marriage between him and Tess. Also, we have the theme of God and religion. How was religion treated and held in the novel? We saw that there is a lot of hypocrisy and deception in religious practices in the English society during Tess time, during the time of Thomas Hardy. So we saw that Hardy criticizes the use of arbitrary law and the use of religion to persuade and convinces others. So all the religious figures in the novel do not have good characters except Reverend Clare. It's only Reverend Clare that portray what religion ought to be in the actual sense. Other Reverend fathers and the religious leaders there do not have much character and exhibit any form of morality that can be likened to that of a religious leader or even a religious person. So it is only Reverend Clare we saw here that have a very good moral standing that is expected of a religious leader. So let's see this one also. The theme of sex is common in the novel. I know in the Victorian era when this poem, this novel was written, having sexual affair with someone that is not married is a form of abomination and is termed as a very prohibitable act in the society. So sex in that time only exists or is acceptable in the society between a married man and woman. So for Tex to have sexual affair with Alec Duvaves leading to pregnancy is a form of abomination that she has committed in the time, and then the society frown at it, and that are some of the reasons why Tess could not live in Malot, but they have to travel to Tobadis dairy farm, and from there, even after divorce and separation from Claire, she could not live in the Malot because of her dark past, and she has to travel again to Flintcomb to go and look for another job where people do not know her past and do not have much thing to criticize or to paint her bad for having such affair and leading to pregnancy. So we also saw that Alec Dubavis is also very immoral and so obsessed with the sexual affair uh, with Tess, and that was why he also pressured Tex to marry him and took Tex to Sandbourne. So that is also sex is very common, and one of the things that leads to the destruction of Tess in the play is that sexual affair with Alec Dubavis, because that leads to pregnancy and even the death of Sorrow. So Tex sank into depression so much, and she could not live a normal life in Malot because of that sexual affair. So Hardy portrayed the use of sex or sexual affair between characters to talk about the corruption that pervades the urban society in the English society in the Victorian period. So at that time, the sex is not so common in the rural area, and it's not acceptable at that time in the rural area. But the society, the urban society, is gradually sinking to immoral act and sexual affair between people that are not married are being committed in several occasions, and Hardy is lamenting such development in the urban city in the English society at that time. So these are some of the prominent themes in the novel. We have theme of death also. No, two people died in the novel. Three people died in the novel. We have the death of Sorrow, the son of Tess, and then the death of John Dubavis, the father of Tess, and then the eventual killing of Alec Dubavis by Tess. So, and also the death of Tex. Four people died. That is also a common recurrent motive in the novel. And also the theme of marriage is also there, because we saw that Tex eventually got married to Angel Claire, and then after the separation, Alec Duva became, and then Tex have to accept the marriage, and they live in the upper class society in Sandbourne. And these are some of the themes in the novel. And then in the characters, we are going to make another video for the characters and characterization, and it is good that you subscribe so that you get notified when the video also is uploaded. But before then, we have major characters like Tess Dubavis, John Dubavis, Alec Dubavis, Joan Dubavis, Angel Claire, Reverend Claire, and we have other Mrs. Dubavis and Mr. Dubavis, which is not much a major character in the novel. And then we have other minor characters, the people that work with Tess in Dubavis Diary and Flintcomb, and the other religious leaders in the novel. So subscribe so that you can get notified when the other videos are uploaded. Okay.